and also Democrats guilty of treachery that they project onto others. That is the focus that we're going to get into, an inside look, if you will, at the con artists that make up the Democrat Party in tonight's preamble. The most recent round of Democrat-inspired violence came in a rash of shootings over the weekend. Deadliest shooting occurred at the hands of a self-proclaimed left-wing authoritarian in Buffalo. This glowing example of Democrat hate killed 10 people. Now, if you need further proof that the left wing equals violence, look no further than the pro-abortionists who are threatening to burn the Supreme Court and harm justices and their clerks if the court allows the states to determine just how much Democrats can slaughter American babies in the womb. Add to this the years-long riots at the hands of BLM and Antifa, and I think we all have well established the modern-day Democrat Party is all about force and violence, and they are desperate to remain so with the blessings of our two-tier justice system. But back to the Buffalo shooting. We told you 2 days ago that the racist white left-winger was echoing something called replacement theory. This is the idea that whites will no longer be the majority in America. And left-wingers believe that all people of color are Marxists or communists, just like, BLM. And thus, all people of color are disposed to vote socialist or vote for Democrats because of their skin color. It's absurd, I know. In fact, we conservatives, we couldn't care less about skin color. Ideology is what matters to us. Now, if you're a socialist or a communist, doesn't matter what color your skin is, you're an enemy to the United States and to conservatives. But in the wake of the Buffalo shooting, the basket of biased press and their political party, the Democrats, began to blame conservatives for spreading this idea of replacement theory.
It seems harder and harder to ignore that the echoes of replacement theory and other racially motivated views are increasingly coming out into the open.
The violent Chuck Schumer even demanded the conservatives lose their jobs over this alleged pushing of replacement theory. We all remember that Senator Schumer himself is a violent left-winger who threatened 2 Supreme Court justices by name. But it wasn't only Schumer blaming the right wing for spreading the idea of replacement theory.
I believe anybody who echoes a replacement is to blame, not for this particular crime, but it's for no purpose except profit and or political benefit. And it's wrong.
So you all heard the condemnation from the paragons of socialism and communism, Schumer and Biden. They decry anyone who has been pushing replacement theory.
The demographics change as white people become the minority in the country, which is coming.
Demographics is destiny. Demographics is destiny.
Demographics is destiny, right? The country is changing.
I've been saying it here. Other people have been saying it here for years now, even before Donald Trump. The demographics is destiny.
The white population is declining for the first time in history in America, while the number of multiracial Americans have more than doubled.
So we live in a country where the demographics are changing. It's becoming less white.
Correct.
Okay.
You'll be announcing that we're calling the 38 electoral votes of Texas for the Democratic nominee for president. It's changing. It's going to become a purple state and then a blue state because of the demographics, because of the population growth.
The growth in Texas has been almost entirely driven by non-white population growth, mostly by Hispanic and Latino population growth.
The idea that, whites will not be the majority, I mean, it's an exciting transformation of the country. It's an exciting evolution and progress of our country.
Wow. Look at all the leftists pushing replacement theory. Oh, and to the aptly named Castro there. Latinos here in Texas are rejecting your fascist socialism. They are voting Republican like never before. And that's because Texas Latinos covet freedom. And all the aptly named Castro brothers and their party can offer Hispanics is slavery. Somebody should tell Joe Biden about all the left-wingers out there that we found pushing replacement theory.
So there's a second thing in that black box, an unrelenting stream of immigration, nonstop. Folks like me who were Caucasian of European descent, for the first time in 2017, will be in an absolute minority in the United States of America.
America is browning. In 2008, the Pew Research Center projected that by 2050, America will no longer have any single racial group that constitutes a majority.
In a few years, we're going to be a majority brown country. White people will not be the majority in the country anymore.
This will be the first generation ever in American history in which whites will be a minority of the generation at some point.
As of 2007, every year, babies being born in this country, whites now are the minority.
In 2044, everyone is going to be a minority.
It just goes on and on and on. Bunch of leftists pushing replacement theory. So what did we learn from all of this? Well, it's no more complicated than one of the often cited and often repeated Salcedo Show axioms. Leftists project qualities onto others that they themselves have in abundance. If the Democrats accuse you of Russia collusion, they're guilty of it. If they accuse you of pushing to raise your taxes, they're guilty of it. If they accuse you of being anti-American and violent, they are guilty of it. And if they accuse you of pushing divisive, ignorant, and nutty ideas like replacement theory, or accuse you of implementing the crazy and nutty ideas contained in replacement theory, they are guilty of it. America needs honest leaders who tell the truth and who are not committed to spin and BS to hide their anti-American motives. Americans can stop our historic fall by simply rejecting the Democrats, their violence, misdirection, and lies.